To test that your kiln is going to the temperature that you want it to go to, if you are firing and taking pieces out and you think that maybe the top of the kiln is firing a little bit hotter than the middle, or the bottom is firing hotter than the top, for example, maybe the pieces that are coming out of one area look a little bit yellow, or the glaze is a bit hard, a bit rough to touch, yet other parts of the kiln are looking okay, and the computer is telling you that the firing is looking perfect, everything is firing perfectly well as far as the computer is concerned, then it's advisable to put some test cones, some witness cones in the kiln and see exactly what's happening in that kiln chamber. Witness cones will not lie. Witness cones measure heat work. So if you put a witness cone in, that cone will bend, deteriorate after it's experienced a certain amount of heat work. So if you want to test your kiln on a standard 0.6 glaze temperature firing, you'll need to get 3 cones. You need to get the cone that you're firing to, which will be a 0.6. You need to get 1 cone hotter than that, which will be a 0.5. That'll be your guard cone. And you'll need to get 1 cone cooler, which will be a 0.7. That's your guide cone. And the reason you have 3 is so if you just put 1 cone in, a 0.6 for example, and your kiln in one area of the kiln was firing a little bit cool and it wasn't being able to bend that cone, that's all very well, but it doesn't tell you exactly what temperature it got to. It tells you haven't got to a 0.6, but did you even get to a 0.7? If you put in 3 cones, you're able to carefully, accurately judge exactly how much heat work has been generated in that part of the kiln. So that's why 3 cones to test 1 temperature. So for this 0.6 firing we'll need 05, 06, 07. Cones come in boxes of 25. They'll come bonded together. You simply need to just snap them apart and put them on a piece of spare tile or a piece of unpainted, unglazed bisque, because during the firing, if the kiln does overfire a bit, the cones can get a bit vitrified and will stick to the kiln shelf. Just pop them on a piece of bisque, and if they do stick, they'll only stick to the tile or the bisque that you put them on. So you want 3 at the top of the kiln, 3 in the middle of the kiln where the kiln is actually reading the temperature via the thermocouple, and 3 at the bottom of the kiln. Set the kiln off to fire normally to your 0.6 temperature, and you can put pieces in with it. You haven't got to do it as an empty firing. You can put wear in with it as well. And when you come to unload the kiln, have a look and see what the difference is between each of those layers. What you're hoping to find is your 0.5 cone should still look like that. It shouldn't have moved because we haven't gone to a 0.5. The 0.6 in a perfect firing should look like that. The tip should just bend over and just touch the surface of the kiln shelf or the bisque that it stood on. That indicates a perfect 0.6 firing. And the 0.7, the cooler cone, should have done that and gone beyond, and you'll see that the surface of the 0.7 is slightly glossy. It's vitrified and started to bloat a bit after all that heat work. And that's a perfect fire. It's a perfect 0.6. What's quite interesting in a firing is to see, do you get that in all 3 parts of the kiln, at the top, middle and bottom, or do you, as you will find with many kilns, get a variation of that? Maybe you get perfection in the middle, maybe a bit hotter at the top, cooler at the bottom. Whatever it tells you is exactly what your kiln's doing, and you can do things to slightly adjust the way that you load your kiln once you have that information.